Hi guys, welcome back to Dev Astrology. Now, some of you loved my 2026 predictions. I have done two elements of that, a detailed prediction as well as 12 positive insights for 2026. And many of you sent comments that Dev, why don't you give a series on Rahu Ketu axis as well to give us a better clarity as to what can be anticipated from them? Now, of course, the transit of Rahu and Ketu is not happening in terms of a sign shift all the way until December. However, we will be seeing nakshatra transits coming into picture. And very recently, I had released the Rahu in Shatabisha video. If you've not had a chance, I will, of course, urge you guys to put a quick search of Dev Astrology and you will be able to find out that video. Now, in today's video, what we're going to do is we are going to just get a short, brief glimpse into this Rahu Ketu axis and understand what it is going to mean for us. So without further ado, guys, I'm going to jump into the video and give you an insights about the key dates that are going to be coming into picture, which is going to give you a lot of clarity as to what should be happening at what time period. And the structure of this video is also in a way where you are going to understand the shifts coming in different phases and the eventual conclusion for your sign. So guys, as you can see on your screen here, I have called out the key dates that are going to be coming into picture, wherein Rahu has recently, at the time of the recording of this video, already transited into the Shatabisha nakshatra earlier in December 2025. Later, Rahu will be making a shift into the Dhanisht nakshatra, which will happen mid of August 2026. And finally, the shift is going to come into Makar Capricorn Rashi on December 5th, 2026. Whilst on Ketu's side, we see that Ketu is currently placed in Purv Falguni nakshatra in 2025. But as you enter 2026, on March 29th, Ketu will get into Magha nakshatra. Now guys, that is its own nakshatra where it becomes extremely powerful. And eventually, Ketu will transit into Ashlesha nakshatra on December 5th, 2026, when it enters into the sign of Cancer. Now Gemini, for you guys, the axis is 3 and 9, where Rahu is placed in your 9th house, in the house of luck, fortune, destiny, your own principles, your protocols, your fatherly figure, foreign lands and higher education, whilst Ketu is placed in the 3rd house for you, which reflects your courage and your self-effort. And this is a period you've been living through this, where you are oscillating between the the situation of luck versus the hustle versus the effort that you are putting in, and there is some degree of trade-off between the two. Sometimes one tends to win whilst the other is the one that faces the struggle. Now guys, Rahu here is giving a very clear-cut indication of obsession towards higher knowledge, towards foreign elements in life, towards learning new stuff, international travel coming into picture, or expanding your horizons, your perspective for that matter. And it is giving an aspect to your 1st, to your 3rd and your 5th, whilst Ketu is in the 3rd house, which is detaching you from the grind, which could bring an introverted behavior in you. It could bring in situations where you feel tired of the small talk coming into life and you don't want to prove everything in terms of your courage or bravery. You know you've got it all. After all, Ketu is the carrier of past life karma in our life. But let's try and decode, because the nakshatra shifts are going to be coming into picture through the year. And the first phase of your 2026 starts from January all the way till March 29, when Rahu is stationed in Shatabisha nakshatra, whilst Ketu is in Purv Falguni nakshatra, that of Venus. And guys, this is a time where, we've done a video on Rahu in Shatabisha as well, where we talked about how it operates like 100 physicians. And the first thing is that you are going to be thinking in that direction. You are going to be seeking unconventional mentors or unconventional guides, mentors from different walks of life could be more supportive for you than the traditional mindset. You are not going to find a traditional school, any traditional teacher in terms of upgrading your knowledge or understanding. Even if you go for higher education, it will be not in the place that you are, but for something foreign, something alien to you. And there is a high probability, because Shatabisha connects the mentorship from a tech, AI, healthcare perspective, as I talked last time. It is going to bring those levels of healing as well. Astrology, to a certain extent, could also be seen from that perspective, but you will be obsessed about the futuristic things that are going to come in life. That is number one. Number two, this is a time for healing journeys. That means there is a strong possibility that you might embark upon a long distance travel of some sorts. Pilgrimage might come into picture. Many of you might end up taking medical tourism or traveling to a long distance for getting some sort of medical treatment as well. Those possibilities are also there. Rahu is in Shatabisha. But going to a foreign land might give you that elusive cure that you've been missing for a while. And I said Shatabisha means the 100th attempt, 100 times you will fight for it and you are eventually going to get it. At the same time, this Ketu's placement in your third, in Purva Falguni, that too in Venus's nakshatra, it's a hard placement. This is going to bring that, lazy sort of things. You want to do things, you have to, but there is not enough drive. You would want to figure out smarter ways of working. Somewhere there is a hidden lethargy which is coming into picture. Maybe you may want to bring in certain degree of automation. You want to bring in some additional external help in terms of labor, human or machine, to address the tasks that you have to undertake at a time. If you're a homemaker, you might prefer having some sort of a machinery that helps you cut and chop. Ketu is that, or maybe getting a human support in your workforce, in your work front too. Those kind of that detachment from the rat race and getting it done enough might be coming into picture. What you've got to remember is that Ketu from the ninth, as I said earlier, is giving an aspect to your first and the fifth house. And this is where your philosophy, new way of thinking might make you come across too arrogant, or some kind of a disruption because of your new investment tactics or new communication style can be disruptive. So keep that ambition, I wouldn't say, but that egotistical situation in check if situations arise. The second phase for you, however, will be coming from March 29th till August 23rd. And this is the time when Ketu is now making a shift into the Magha Nakshatra whilst Rahu is continuing in Shatabisha. And this is a period where, guys, Magha is the nakshatra which talks about ancestors, Pitra, royalty. In all cultures, we've seen that happening. And this is where you are going to see that some sort of past life talent, some sort of, now it is so hard for us to decipher what is the past life talent that I would have. Guys, I'm alluding to the innate capability that you might that you might be able to display, that you might be able to showcase, maybe in terms of writing, in terms of singing, communication, painting, expressing that in different forms that you have not done so far, or that you would have kept in the backdrop for a while, could come into picture, and you will be effortless in that. You will be able to bring that expression. At the same time, it is about your lineage, because Ketu has got into Magha. So somewhere or the other, connecting emotionally or thinking of that sweet old grandmother who was so very kind of you, some lessons from her that you want to carry, those kind of things, are going to come into picture here. At the same time, there could be severe amount of detachment that comes into play, some ego situation rising with that royalty of Magha, where you feel that you don't want to attach yourself with your siblings, with your neighborhood, maybe not very active in the activities out there. You will have to think of the big picture, but you will feel yourself withdrawn, at least from the immediate circles, from your immediate hobbies for that matter. And the third bit is that there is going to be a rise in your spiritual courage. You will be surprised to see that this was also an aspect sitting within you. You would not be afraid of yourself or the world seeing you in a certain light. You would want to focus towards growing your yourself from within, challenging yourself internally before you could be obsessed in terms of sharing those teachings and publishing those teachings as well in some way or the other. Because Rahu is giving the aspect to the fifth, publishing in that connection is going to come into picture. Now the important part comes into the third phase where the shift is coming in with Rahu in Dhanishta nakshatra. Now it is ruled by Mars. The nakshatra is ruled by Mars, whilst Ketu is continuing in Magha nakshatra, and this period is from August 23rd till December 5th. Now guys, this is a time where you will feel that luck and money are working in parallel for you, because Rahu has come into the house, and it is sitting in the ninth house itself, but given that Mars rules your 11th house of gains and Rahu has come into the nakshatra of the 11th lord, as such there is a strong possibility that some sort of unexpected large financial gain in terms of your educational pursuits, traveling to a beautiful location, all of those things can come into picture. Maybe you publish something that gains adulation and unexpected success comes from that direction. Your virality, as I was earlier alluding to, can come into picture. It can reflect into success coming into your father's life, into your mentor's life, boss's life as well. You're going to be lucky for them too, because they are going, or there's a possibility of them seeing a sudden surge in wealth, in sudden surge of income, which could eventually benefit you as well. If you're a student, imagine your dad does well, you are able to get a lot more. You're working professional, your customer does well, your boss does well, it can reflect down, it can trickle down in your direction as well. And then there is going to be an interest towards aggressive expansion of sorts. I anticipate that this is a period you might feel restless. You might want to travel places. You might want to launch that new website, that new blog, publish a new channel, do something on e-commerce domain, something that you've been waiting for a while. You would want to pursue those activities. That lethargy of Ketu can come into check if managed effectively, because you have to remember Ketu is giving an aspect towards your 7th house, and it's giving an aspect to your 9th and 11th as well. So somewhere detachment or separation in your partnerships is possible. So there is a high possibility you might embark on a solo journey, or you might start doing some startup with your own efforts. You build your storyline and you don't want to engage too many people around it or too much of a partnership. You want to bring that innate knowledge, as I was alluding to earlier, and bring that to implementation. Then the last bit is when December 5th onwards, shift comes with Rahu entering Capricorn. It is still in Dhanishta nakshatra, whilst Ketu is entering now the sign of Cancer. Guys, 3 key pivots. We are only going to talk up till 2026. The first bit is the Ashlesha release, because this is a time where Ketu is getting into the Gandant situation of Ashlesha, and in your 2nd house the transit is now happening in your 2 and 8 axis. So this is a period where there could be some sort of a release coming in with respect to family karma, with respect to your speech, your diet. Some sort of a shift from your siblings relationships perspective is anticipated. The second bit is that there is going to be an occult shift and motivation, inclination towards philosophy, towards doing deep research or understanding occult at a next level. You could be looking starry-eyed towards the skies. You might want to figure out, unearth, open up the, it's like unpeeling the onions in its layers, and you would want to figure out answers to certain things. But it's a brilliant time for people to get into wider understanding, abundant understanding of astrology, of occult matters, or getting into the research of subjects which are highly tech or health related, or even land related, property, technology related connections are definitely going to come into picture. You will be engaged across other people's money too. The last bit during this shift is there, whilst all this is happening, there will be some degree of detachment coming in from your own family wealth perspective, family perspective, ideology perspective. Some sort of a shift, a spiritual shift is definitely anticipated, or a shift in your career, that because he's giving an aspect towards your 10th house. All right. Now, we talk about remedies, and on a conclusion perspective, I try to give very differentiated remedies. Number one, what I will suggest is that since Rahu is in your ninth house and it is giving you that connection, respect from foreign cultures perspective, or your teacher's perspective, maintaining that decorum, bringing that immersion in your life to a certain extent may not be a bad thing to happen. That is the first and the foremost thing. Do not fake your knowledge. Don't harp on fake knowledge, but doubling down on showcasing respect to others, other cultures, people from different walks of life is going to be the first fix when Rahu is in the ninth. The second bit is that Rahu is in the third, sorry, Ketu is in the third, and this is a time where enabling maybe people, kids, with books to read, any publishing material, anything that gives them knowledge and wisdom, something that enhances communication for other people, is going to be crucial. Again, supporting people on that perspective, the humanitarian attitude has to be kept in mind. And the last bit is, guys, when Ketu gets into Magha, it is going to be about honoring your ancestors as well. In different cultures, religions, there are varied practices. You've got to follow what suits in your culture, in your religion, but some sort of connect with your pitras is going to be extremely helpful. And if you enjoyed this, you should write, I'm going to rule my destiny for this year 2026. Make a comment and share your thoughts from that angle. Now guys, if you've come this far, before you skip and jump onto any other video, my request is please support the effort and the insights that I bring to the table. Please support me by smashing that like button. Help me cross 500 likes for this video. Subscribe to my channel and tell me your comments, ideas as to what can I do to improve and get better. Thanks for watching. Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Mahadev.